Hey, a very good morning to all our students joining us today. I hope you all are well and ready for the weekend. Good morning to our facilitators also joining us today. We've got quite a few that are joining us, academics as well as different support departments, to really make this an interesting and engaging session for us. So it's really a pleasure to welcome you to this crucial training session as we prepare for the upcoming October-November exam period. We also understand, that this time of the year can be particularly stressful, with many of you feeling the pressure and possibly even experiencing burnout with all the assignments that you have. But we're hoping that today's session is designed to equip you with some of the technical skills for your online assessments, for your upcoming examinations, and also to help you ease some of the stress by ensuring that you feel more confident as you prepare for the upcoming examination. Now, as an open distance learning institution, UNISA allows you to study independently, which is one of the major benefits of studying at UNISA, especially if you're a working person. However, we also know that the nature of online exams can bring many challenges, and some of the challenges, beside time and the rest of time and management of your assessments, is also the unfamiliarity with certain platforms that we use at UNISA. And our goal this morning is really to help you master these tools and the skills necessary so that you can start navigating your assessments and become less worried as you prepare and concentrate specifically on your discipline knowledge. Now, in this session, you will find that we will cover some critical aspects: how to access your exam portal, proctoring tools, academic integrity, types of online assessments. And throughout these sessions, you will be supported by our team of excellent facilitators. You can see them already online early in the morning, who are really here to guide you through every step of the way. Now, these are highly knowledgeable colleagues about the online exams. We've been doing this, I think, for the past 4 years. So please, I encourage you to use your chats use the chat function to communicate with the students, to the facilitators. You will find that we intentionally disable your microphones and your camera so that we do not have any disruption. But this excellent cohort of facilitators are in the background ready to provide the support that you need with whatever questions that you may have, from assessments to technical skills to support to student queries, etc. Now, on behalf of the Vice Principal of Teaching and Learning, Community Engagement and Student Support, Professor Motsa Matikani, the Executive Director for the Department of Tuition Support and Facilitation of Learning, Professor Makano, and myself, Denzel Chetty, we want to remind you that you have worked hard to get to this point of the year, and we believe in your ability to succeed. And we also want to wish you the very best for the upcoming exams. Stay focused, trust in your preparation, especially, some of you get a bit challenged at this point of the year, whether you're confident or not, but trust in the preparations that you've done so far. And remember that you have the support of the entire UNISA team behind you, the colleagues that are here and the different support departments. And we really want to wish you the best of luck as you attend the session. Now, you'll find that the program for today, we restructured it a bit. So if some of you have attended our previous sessions, we've restructured a bit so that it makes a bit more sense for you. So what we've done is split it into three steps. Step one: how do I prepare for the examination? What do you need to prepare for the examination? And we're going to cover topics such as accessing the open exam, myExams support site, proctoring lookup tools, my module profile, upload a my module profile photo, required devices, proctoring tools and mock exams, which is critical, and also the Moodle proctoring Invigilator apps and Iris. After you've acquired the competencies in step one, we will then take you to step two, which is actually the writing exams. What do you need to know when you're writing the exams on the day itself? How do you access your exams from the myExams portal? What type of exams are you preparing for? The MCQs, the take-home exams, the assignments, etc., right? And then academic integrity. What are the do's and don'ts when writing the examination? And once you've got comfortable with that, we know that you also will need some support pre-examination, post-examination, during the examinations. We also want to provide you today with some of the support spaces that you can access. For example, the regional support, the student support contact center, the support for students with special needs. And one of our most innovative deliverables currently at UNISA is an opportunity to meet Luwazi, the UNISA humanoid robot, and personality on our chat function, and engage with her in some critical conversations on the exams as well. She's really friendly, and you'll have an interesting engagement with her as well. So we'll showcase some of that elements later. So these are the 3 steps. Simple process, the journey that we want to walk you through this morning. And with that said, let's get straight into the program for this morning. Now that you're ready, and I hope you grabbed your cup of coffee, we will in the course take a slight 2-minute break as well in the course of 2 hours, so that you also can grab some coffee. But if you're ready to go, we're going to start with step 1 today. But before I start with step 1, I think what you find on the screen right now is a pre-assessment, and what we want you to do is click on that link. Or firstly, you'll see a link up on, so you simply type that URL into your web browser and access the link. Or if you've got a phone and you've got a laptop or another device, you can simply scan the QR code. And this pre-assessment helps us to also look at the knowledge that you gain through. So this is quite important because remember, we design these interventions based on what skills you require. So the more information you give us, the more detailed our training can become, so that we provide cutting edge training for you that really meets your needs. So please do complete this. Also, we have some exciting giveaways today. So we have some exciting prizes. We actually just purchased these giveaways recently. I actually haven't had the opportunity to look at it myself beside on photos, and it looks amazing on the photos. So you've got a mobile stand, some earphones, and a light that's all branded by UNISA. And you have an opportunity, stay throughout the session with us, and you have an opportunity to win some of these prizes. I'm going to tell you how you're going to win it. Towards the latter part, our colleagues are going to disclose the competition to you and how you can win it. But rest assured, this is no gimmick. You will receive the name of the winners before the session ends, right? So you're not going to go back and try to figure out who the winners are. Before the session ends, we will announce the winners, right? So you will go fully knowing who these prizes are going to this today. So stay with us over the 2 hours. Sit back, grab your cup of coffee, grab your pen, paper, or whatever you've got in front of you, and let's start the session ahead for us. So today we have the session step 1, and we're going to start with the preparation for the examination. And I'm going to invite my colleague Lindiwe Mashlangu, who's going to talk to you firstly and show you how do you access the Open myExams support site. What exactly is the support site and how do you access it? Thank you so much, Lindiwe. Let me hand over to you. Thanks, Lindiwe.
Lindiwe, you're muted.
Apologies for that, student. Thank you, Program Director. Good morning, student. As introduced, my name is Lindiwe Mashlangu, and I will be presenting to you accessing the Open myExam support site. Student, note that everything that will be covered in today's session is available on my exam guide. To access the guide, my colleagues will post the link on the chat, and you may also take a picture of the QR code and or open it using the URL to access the site. I'm going to demonstrate to you how to open using your browser. On your browser, you type in UNISA, ADOVH, and click enter. You will see that it will be the first course that will appear on the site. When the course is open and you scroll down, you will see, apart from the Get Ready for Your Exam Basic Skills, there are so many courses that are on the site, and they are all free. Most importantly, to access the site, you will need to log in. On top right of your screen, you will see the login button. As a UNISA registered student, you will click yes and log in using your MyLife email address and password. As I said before, when you scroll down, you will see there are many courses on the site. But our concentration today, it is the basic skills online exams. When you click on it, you will see that there are activities that will assist you to practice and prepare for your exams. Student, you will find details of our upcoming webinars under announcement. There are 7 lessons that will prep you for the exams, webinar recordings, downloadable guidelines of the lessons, frequently asked questions, and most importantly, support contact information. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lindiwe. That was beautifully done. You provided with much clarity how to navigate the platform. And I must actually say that was the first time Lindiwe actually presented. So you really deserve a round of applause for that, Lindiwe. Excellent, clear articulation of that. Thank you so much, Lindiwe. Well done, Lindiwe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lindiwe. And this is just the start, Lindiwe. You've got much more sessions. Because you've done so well, we're going to push you to navigate more sessions for us. Okay, so now that you know, Lindiwe provided this quick guideline for how to access the site, and I'm hoping that you can also work through the sites with us as we proceed through today's session. Remember, that is your central portal. So everything that we are doing today, that's your lifeline, right? So we created that site specifically for you. As long as you can tap into that lifeline, you've got all the support information that you need. So now that you know how to access the Open myExams support site, let's look at the proctoring tool, the My Modules profile photo that is required, and the required devices. And at this time, I'm going to invite 2 of my colleagues, Tabang and Lucas, to lead us into the next step, the next part of step 1. Proctoring lookup tool, My Modules full profile photo update, and required device. And these are critical information that you need to now consider before you get into the examination. So let me hand over to my colleagues, Tabang and Lucas. Thank you so much.
Good morning, team. Good morning, team. And good morning, students. Without any waste of time, let me start by congratulating you for making it this far. And we say the examination has kick-started or is about to kickstart. So for those who have not started, and we got you covered. So for now, as Lindiwe is taking you through to show that the journey has now begun. Now also let me give you some hint and how to make sure that you successfully complete your examination without any stress, any panic, because I know that most of you have qualified well. But if you miss some of the steps from this assessment or from these activities, so you might not even pass. And it's so sad for one to not pass just because you have not actually use the proper tools, use the proper access, or follow the proper instruction, because we say the failure of each and every one of us is not you not doing well in your examination, but it's you not following the proper instruction or what is required from you. So now I'm going to take you through the how to access or how to upload the profile photo before you start your examination. And I'm going to share my screen now. You'll just let me know, Dr. Chetty, if you can see my screen so that I'm sure.
All good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Team, what you are going to do, just pardon me, I like to use the word team because I know we are in this together. We are a team. Whether you're a student, whether you are the facilitator, but today we work as a team. So that's why we are even doing the teamwork. So what you're going to do, first of all, on your Monday, tomorrow, or during course of your examination, before you do that, you must make sure that you log into my UNISA as you submit your assessment. And after logging to my UNISA, you are going to go to the far right, where usually it will be your initials, and then you click the drop down arrow. Whether you are using a phone or a laptop, this is how you will see the profile. For those who have not uploaded anything yet, you will see it will just be blank with your initials. But if you have uploaded something, you will see, for example, if you can see here, I have a background page of my profile picture. So you're going to click drop down arrow, From the drop-down arrow, you have a lot of information there, which can be your calendar, everything. But today we're going to focus on profile because we want to know you, because that's what is important for you to be recognized during examination. So you're going to click on the profile. Then from the profile, if you can check, we don't know, it's just UNISA. It means we cannot identify who Thabang Jerry Masedi is at this point. And with us failing to know who Thabang Jerry Masedi is, we are not going to be sure if you are complying to the university or if you are the right person who's writing the examination. So once you have done that, you are going to click on, remember, some I have put the flowers, some have put the car, the mountain, even the whole people like myself, because maybe I love UNISA at that point. But because now I'm supposed to write examination, it's very important for me to be identifiable, to be known, or who's Thabang. So what I'm going to do, or what you are supposed to do if you have already uploaded these pictures, sometimes one will ask if I have a head, if I'm wearing the shades, so we'll not be able to identify you. Think of this profile picture as your ID, how you are identified. When you think of when you go to Home Affairs to do ID, when you do the passport, or when they want something which is visible about yourself. So you are going to make sure that you go to, once you have clicked on the updated profile, you are going to click on, you can either delete or you can go to file. But let me just, because for those who have already uploaded, you can just say delete. I just want to show for those who have, if you have not uploaded anything, it will be like this. And then for that, you are going to click on edit. After edit, you are going to click on the user picture. Below the user picture, you are going to look where it says new picture. Then you click on add. And then it will say upload a file. Then you're going to choose on choose file or attachment. So from there, I'm going to look for my picture, which may, when I'm writing my examination, they will be able to know that this is me. So if you can check, then the picture is somewhere here. It can show that the picture is uploaded. Then I can just decide to write my name here, Thabang Jerry Masedi. Just to be on the safe side, when you do everything, use what's up here on your ID so that you do not actually find yourself in the hot water or failing because we don't know who's that person. Then from there, you say update profile. Once you update profile, if you can see now, at least, although if you can look at this picture, because I just choose random pictures, if you can see that you can look at this picture, I'm not necessarily straight or visible enough, so it's not really ideal or good picture to use, because you must be able, hence I say, when you upload your picture, always think of when you are taking an ID photo or passport photo or license photos, where you need to have your shot a medium shot, and you must look straight directly to the picture so that we are able to see your face and who you are. And for those who are wearing, I know there are those who like to wear hats. So for now, we are going to go to African structure where we say, let's try to respect the photo, the profile picture. So you must take off your head so that we can be able to identify you. The importance of that is we must be able to identify you. So you must not wear shades, you must not wear the caps, so that you, because we know that when you deal with that, I think it will be dealt with on integrity and honestly at some point. So that's how that's the step one, or that's the step two. After you have access, then now you need to upload the profile picture. After you have done that, we are going to look at the, before I give to Lucas, we're going to look at the proctoring, but I'm not so sure. Lucas, are you in this? Sorry about it. Lucas, are you on the session?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Can you take them through the devices? Then I will come back to proctoring app tools. Thank you.
Perfect. While Lucas is getting ready, Tabang, I think you made a very important point on the profile photo. So just remember, you all look beautiful and handsome and the rest of stuff, and we really want to see what you look like. But more than just seeing what you look like, it's really about, ensuring the academic integrity of the person that's writing me this. So I know on your social media pictures, you love to put pictures of your girlfriend and your boyfriend and the rest of it. But please, in this case, let's just keep it as you as a single person on the profile picture, because sometimes along the line you may break up before the exam start, break up with the person and change your profile photograph again. So let's just keep it straight for you so that we know who the person is that's writing it. Yeah, so you're all laughing. I suppose the stress of examination will cause a lot of relationships to break up now. But anyway, let's just keep your profile photo going. Lucas, you ready?
Yes, Doc,
Thanks.
I can go. Can you see my screen?
All good.
Thank you. Morning, colleagues. As Taban said, we are a team, meaning also UNISA relies on your device for the exam session to be very seamless. And mine is very simple. I'm just going to give you ideal devices that you must use. If you're using a smartphone, I think preferably it must not be older than 5 years. Those who are using Apple phones, they know they stop some of the versions to work on your phones if your device is old. So make sure even your operating system on your device has the latest updates so that it can handle some of the apps you're going to use for the exam. Always make sure it has access to the internet. And sometimes it might not be a device, it might be where you are. Maybe the signals are poor and so forth. So just make sure even the environment that you are at supports your device, because sometimes the device might be fine, but the signal is poor. Those who like to take pictures and videos, make up some space on your device. If you have to back up your videos and photos somewhere else, Google Drive or Android, I don't know, you have many options to save your data on your phone. Clear as much space as you can so that the apps on your phones can seamlessly function. And again, these are the 3 things you must make sure they work on your device. Your camera must be working. Your microphone must be working. Sound must be working, because some of the apps that we're using for exams, they have to respond to you maybe by a form of a beep or something. If your speakers are not working, then you might not actually hear these beeps, and you might be penalized because maybe these beeps are warning you to do some action during the exam. So please make sure all these 3 components on your smartphones are working properly. Then those who are going to be using laptops and desktops, at least Windows 10 is and the latest updates like your Windows 11 would be ideal. Make sure your laptop or desktop has access to the internet. Again, be able to use some of the apps on your machine. And I think if you could be able to do your assignment freely during the course of the semester, maybe that device is still ready to be used for exams. So please make sure you go again. If you're going to use Word in exam, go check if it's still working properly and so forth. And we advise students, I know people use Firefox and other stuff. We trust Chrome and Edge because we have tested a lot of products on them. So if you can at least use the latest version of Chrome and Edge, you would also find your exam to be seamless. Again, make sure if you are using a laptop, your camera is working. Those who are using desktop, if you have a webcam, make sure it's working. Microphone on your laptop, make sure it's working. The challenge now is that we are not allowing students to use microphones from headsets, because in any case, you might be listening to someone who's giving you answers on your headset. So we don't allow headset during the exam. Again, make sure your speakers of your laptop or your desktop are working so that you make sure you can hear all the beeps and so forth. Again, Wi-Fi on your laptop, it's active, it's working. Those who don't have laptops and are using a desktop, make sure the internet is also working. And I have 3 advices for you before I go. 1, you don't have to own the device that you're using. at least have access to a device during your exam. 2, test your devices at least a day before so that you have enough time. If something goes wrong, you can make a plan. And when I say a plan, borrowing is also a plan. So don't be shy to borrow if you don't have. And I asked the admin department the importance of a device, and they have warned that students have declared when they register, they do have access to a device and the internet. So please, if you don't have these devices, you have declared to the university before you register that you have access to them. But like I said, if yours is not working, borrowing is also a plan. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks so much, Lucas. So now you know the required devices, and I think that's very important because get to know what resources you need before you get into the examination. And Lucas mentioned something quite important. If you're borrowing somebody's device, please familiarize yourself with that device because it's not something that you know that you normally use, and so you become more comfortable before that. So if you're borrowing your family's device and you're writing on Saturday, ask them for it on Wednesday so you can actually practice for it. Tabang, let's get back to you, Tabang. Look up to proctoring. What do we do there, Tabang?
Thank you. And as I'm going to the proctoring tools, teams, we do have the resources at the regions, but you are not guaranteed that you are going to get those devices. So, for example, if you are going to write on Monday, just think of how many students are going to your region and want to write. So, but the Wi-Fi is there. You can go with your gadgets because one will say, what if I get load shedding or the network system? So we know that the UNISA regions will provide you with space for you to connect and continue with your examination. But as for the gadgets, because they've said you have declared and we know that you own, one will even ask a question, can I submit a handwritten examination? The answer for now is no, because you have we need to use the proctoring. And now the question will be, which tools am I going to use, or what is actually a proctoring tool? The answer is simple. It's your Invigilator. And at UNISA, we have different types of Invigilators, but all these Invigilators are online. We are going to say you are not going to write your examination on your own, or you will be on your own, but you'll be supervised by someone. And that someone is actually your online Invigilator, IRIS, or Moodle proctoring. But before I can go to that and show you how do you confirm who's your invigilator for that particular day, why do we have this proctoring tool or the invigilators? Because back then, for those who have studied with UNISA before COVID, you know that you will go to, I think, Pretoria Showground. In Polokwane, there was also Polokwane Showground or venues where you know that at this particular day, I should be at UNISA, a place which is designated for me to go and write examination. And when you go there, or even those who are from matric, you know that when you are in matric, when it's during this examination time, you will just go to your hall, or you'll be given the venue to go and write at, and then you will find the invigilators who will give you instruction, who will also assist you and monitor you to ensure that what you are writing, we are very social. Remember, I said we are working as a team now, but during examination, we are going to work with you as a team, but not by providing you with answers, but ensuring that you adhere to the integrity of the UNISA by ensuring that you are not copying, you are not cheating. In my language, we will often say overtally room. So we want to make sure that you get your results very clean and square, and we know that when you graduate, when you actually get to your stage, we know that you have earned what you have actually studied. So why do we have the proctoring tool? Number one is to ensure the integrity of online examination. And there are various tools or invigilators which we use to ensure that our assessments are ethical and without any support of any other people or assistant. And remember, there are certain assessments where you are given group work, but know that examination is not a group work. is an individual work. That's why we even make sure that we appoint your individual monitor or supervisor or invigilator to just look at you to ensure that you are doing the correct stuff. Then the proctoring tools, they monitor your activities during this examination. So whatever you are doing during examination, and I think what Dr. Chit, you can just give me a signal with a thumb. I think in my background you can hear some noise because I just wanted to do something with this noise. If you can look during this examination, I will be writing maybe at my home. And when I'm writing, there are background noises. There are other, if you can check, there's children's noise, maybe people might be coming to my space, but that's not a big deal because one will say, but I will never have a clean space where there's no noise because during examination, usually there's no noise. Here we're going to say with the proctoring tools, this proctoring will monitor you during examination through the audio or the video recording, depending on the type of proctoring tool that you're going to use. And I will interchange the proctoring tool as Invigilator so that if you forget, you can realize that it's Invigilator / proctoring. So this proctoring are just to make sure that, like I've said, to monitor and make sure, and there will be just do not fear when you hear someone disturb or come in your space, because those noise will be, we're going to sit down and listen to what was happening in your space. If, for example, you are a mother or maybe you are at work, you borrowed an office space to write examination, when people comes in, we will be able to hear your conversations around that. We'll be able to tell if they were giving you the answers or you were sitting with someone next to you. But if it's just a noise of a child crying, so we can be able to hear the child is just crying, so you will not be penalized for that. But if you're going to make, I know there were some of my students who will often make a phone call to just check something. You know, question number 2, what's happening on question number 2? The Invigilator app, the Moodle proctoring or the Iris app will be able to pick that, and that's why most of you will be, your results will be delayed. When instead of you getting the results on time, it will say you are under disciplinary hearing, so your assessment is still on, it's actually flagged. So because we want to check the background noise, what was happening in your surrounding. So once that is confirmed, then your marks will be released. You either pass or fail. But to ensure that you do not find yourself in this dire situation, try by all means that your space is clear and what you are doing in your surrounding. Do not allow any, or do not even think that you might be online and communicating with people the system will not hear, because that's why we say we have Invigilation, and those apps, proctoring tools, are very diligent, very smart to pick each and everything. So what invigilators or tools do we use at UNISA? We have your Moodle proctoring, which is usually webcam. We have Invigilator app. We have Iris app, which is only used for or used in the College of CSET, which is the College of Engineering and Technology. And during your assessment, you can be, usually we're going to use one tool to make sure that you do not get confused, which David and the other team will take you through. And also you will need to confirm these tools will be used. And how do you confirm? I know that in most colleges, the lecturer will even send you through announcement with the guide to say, you're going to write my examination on this day, and this will be the proctoring tool that you're going to use. Now I'm going to just share for those who want to know or who might not get the announcement from the lecturer to say, how then do you confirm to which invigilator or proctoring tool are you going to use? Dr. Chetty, you can just confirm if you can see my screen again.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. So this is what you do. Remember when I said when we're uploading the picture, we had to log in. But for the proctoring, to confirm your proctoring and even your examination date, you don't log in, you just scroll down. Once you click or type my UNISA, before you can log in, you just scroll down. As you scroll down, you are going to see the important links, which is my exam. Then you can read other things through down, but you are going to click where it says my exam. When you click on my exam, if you can check, it gives us the timetable for October, which is usually today until Thursday next week, or Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So what you're going, let's assume I'm writing examination on the 8th, and I don't know which tool I'm going to use, and I want to be ready and prepared. You're just going to click on this one. If you can check, the first module is CBF015 exam. They use Invigilator app. So it means the person who's using the Invigilator app, you don't need to check Moodle proctoring, or you don't need to choose the iris. You just need to play around how to use the Invigilator app. Then if you go a little bit down, there is a module called DeFacto, which is DEFACJO exam. If you can check this module, the person who's going to write this module, they will be using the iris app. So these two apps are different, but for this section, they chose, or our Invigilator for the day will be Invigilator app. Then for this one, because it's within the College of CSET or College of Engineering, they say, we trust that you guys, you need the iris app. Then we go down to another app, which is for this module, which is PFINO26 exam. They use Moodle proctoring. If you can check, we only have these 3 apps. So, and one will, as I'm closing, after you've confirmed this, you need to make sure that you have updated your profile pictures, or that's very important, and make sure that you understand. And please do not join or do not download the app when you are writing. I think exam which start at 8, usually by past you must be ready, but do not start by past to prepare, because at past is the time where we say to you, you must be reading through your question paper in most cases. So we don't say you must be downloading or checking the Invigilator, because you will have some delay. At least a day or 24 or 72 hours, just make sure that everything is ready. Your iris, your Invigilator, your Moodle proctoring, they are all at hand, so that when it's the 8th, or when the 8th comes, you just go there, you click everything, then you just be ready for your examination. And also, after you've confirmed that, just make sure that you are ready, and I would like to stop here and wish you all the best. And that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thanks so much to Bang for that, and also walking our students through how to find the proctoring tool that will be used on the exam timetable. So that is really critical for you. And we also do have a proctoring lookup tool, and I'm going to ask my colleague Richard, when he's doing his section, to actually show you the proctoring lookup tool, where you can just enter your module code, and it'll also pull out the proctoring tool that you will be using as well. So Richard, when you do your session, you can also show that. But before I move now, Tabang set the context for us on why we need proctoring, how to find a proctoring. In the next section, we're going to go now to the actual tools, the proctoring systems that we use. But before I go to that, Jess and Prof Sheila, is there anything happening on the chat that is critical for us at this stage? Some common questions, anything on your side?
At the moment, Denzel, there is a lot of curiosity about the Invigilator app, which really does introduce the next section. So I think a lot of questions are about to be answered.
Okay, perfect then. Professor, on your side? Okay, I think we don't have professors. It's fine. Let's move on to the next session, colleagues.
I was struggling to unmute. Okay. Sorry, Dr. C. Okay.
No, it's fine.
I just want us. I just want us to clarify this issue of time, because I know many students, like one here is saying, is confused. Can we maybe clarify it, even the additional time for submission, so that they are clear? Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. I think Richard and David will cover that in the sessions that's upcoming. So we'll answer that question as well. Thanks for that, Professor and Jess. Okay, now let's move on to the next session. Proctoring tools and mock exams, Moodle proctoring, Invigilator app, and Iris. And we have 3 colleagues, David, Erica, and Richard, who will walk us through this particular session. So let me hand over. I think David is starting us off. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Dr. Chetty, and good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are well. So we're going to be looking at proctoring tools. So the first thing I want you guys to do is we've got a nice little survey that we're running, and we want to check with you guys. Do you even know which proctoring tools you're using? Tabang has just showed you one method of actually checking to see what are the proctoring tools that you need to make sure you're prepared for. But we want to actually check with you guys, and we're going to put this survey up. You can use your QR code scanner and quickly scan it in. And there is also Bitly, so we can also post this in the chat just for you guys to tell us what proctoring tools are you going to be using. And a little bit later in the program, we're going to come back and actually have a look and see at how you guys are doing. Are you understanding which tools? Do you understand how to find them? So it's very, very critical information, because before you go and practice the proctoring tools, make sure you know which ones you need to use. So please do complete this poll for us so that we can really check and see how you guys are doing, because we really want to know how you guys are doing with regards to this very interesting point of your exam preparation. Okay, so there are 3 different tools, guys. I saw there was someone asking about a Moodle proctoring. Okay, look, there are some different names. For example, Moodle proctoring is your MCQ exam. It's built into Moodle, guys. That's why you always use that word Moodle. But we're going to show you exactly how it works. So don't panic. We're going to take you step by step. Then Erica's going to come in with the Invigilating app. Now that's a different little guy. It works on your smartphone only, and then we're going to also show you how that works. Now the nice thing is we've got demonstrations for you, so you can go practice these things on the device and that backup device to make sure that you're super comfortable. Then we also look at Iris. Now please note, guys, Iris is not for everybody. It's only really for CSET students and those guys that are writing CTA exams for now. Okay, and then again, we will be showing you that, and Richard will come and show you how the Iris setup works. And once you've got all that going, guys, then you are very much comfortable. But as I said, let's first check which proctoring tools you need to use, and then you come and practice them. So for what I'm going to show you guys, Moodle proctoring, this is basically how it looks. Some of you might have had this already during your assessments, where you might have the webcam that needs to come up. So that integration is really starting to happen. So in other words, it's not going to be a total surprise to you when you get your exam. But if you're doing it for the first time, then I'm going to show you how this works. So the Moodle proctoring, guys, it takes pictures of you while you're writing your exam. Okay, so it uses your webcam or your device's camera. So you do need to make sure it's operational, and you mustn't cover it at all. Hey, so if it's open, don't put any sticky tape or chewing gum or anything on it, because that's a violation then, guys. So obvious problem there. So make sure it takes pictures, but basically you just concentrate on your exam. So once the system starts up, it will run. Don't worry about it then. You just concentrate on those exam questions. Okay, so I'm not going to go to the next slide because that one is going to continue. All right, so what I'm going to do is then let me quickly exit my presentation. Right, then let me go to the browser. So like Lindiwe showed you guys, if you've joined late, we'll just post this in the chat as well. We've got our ADOV site, right? And we showed you how to get it. So I'm just going to quickly go back one step just for those guys who maybe joined late. So you go to adov.unisa.ac.za, or you can just do a Google search with ADOV and UNISA. It's the first course that pops up, the course site. Scroll down a little bit and you got this beautiful image over here. And there it is, myExams preparation. So it's so easy to find it. So I'm just going to click on it, and it's going to use the same login as myUNISA. So that part we have covered. So in other words, you just use your MyLife email and your password, the normal password that you use for myUNISA. So remember, guys, all the materials we are covering is in this course site. Everything is there. The recordings, guys, I see you were asking recordings. You're working. We understand. Everything is sitting here. So please just come to the site. This will be your starting point after today's event, and systematically just work through all these things and you'll be fine. There is the proctoring tool that Dr. Chetty was referring to. So you can check it on the exam, okay? But if it's more than 5 days in the future, then you won't obviously be able to see, right? So then this is another way to check your exams. What proctoring tool am I going to use? So I'm just going to type in a few letters there. Let's say, for example, for English, and it tells me this is the module code. This is the type of exam, which we're still going to cover. And then, of course, which tool do you need to go and practice? You only practice the ones that you need to use, guys. Don't ignore the other ones. If you don't need them, don't need them. Leave them alone. If you're doing math, for example, there we go. Iris proctoring tool. See, guys, this is a nice quick way to just check and see what proctoring tools do I need to use. Once you know this, then you can tackle the next few lessons, because now you know what I need to go and focus on. Remember, we want you to test that device that you're going to use to make sure that you are comfortable with your device, that you can change settings in your device so that you know if something happens, this is how I fix that problem very quickly. Okay, so Moodle proctoring, guys, the nice thing is it's built into Moodle. In other words, you don't have to download anything, it's already there. All you do need is your webcam or a camera if you're using your smartphone. That means, okay, not a problem. I can go now test it. You know, most of these smartphones nowadays have like 1 billion cameras on them anyway, so it's just a matter of going to test it out. In the pink here, you'll see some writing. It says play around with the orientation of your browser. So that's something you must go fiddle around with, play around with, and you'll see there's a frequently asked question link over here that you can also go check it out. Google search can also work, guys. How do I do it? They'll show you how to do it. There's lots of YouTube channel videos that actually show you that as well. But this is very useful just to maximize, if you've got a smartphone, maximize the screen size that you're going to use in your exam. All right, so this is what happens. You're going to log in, you're going to access your exam, and we're still going to cover that as well. But once you see this little icon and it's the day of the exam, what are you going to do? You're simply going to click on it. It's going to open a page. It's going to say to you all the usual things, the date, the time, how much time have you got? Okay, not the highest grade. You're only going to have one attempt most likely. But it's going to really tell you that, okay, I need your webcam. It needs to be working. Okay, not a problem. When I click on this page, right, you notice this little guy is going to pop up, which basically says only the exam site wants to access your camera at this point. So then you're going to have to say allow. But what I want you to do is, as part of your practice, also block it and then see how to unblock it. So just in case in the exam day comes and you accidentally click on block because you're panicking maybe, then you must know, okay, how do I unblock it? And I'm going to show you how to do that. So get comfortable blocking and allowing so that you can use it. But of course, for your exam, you must allow it, guys. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to write your exam. Right, so then I click on allow, and then you'll see the page will be waiting for you. You'll click on start quiz, and you'll see this little page is going to pop up immediately. So this is all the practical things you're going to see. You're going to see yourself there, hopefully like this chap you see is wearing glasses, not a problem, guys. And he's very happy because he's seriously ready for his exam. So that's great. You will have to tick the validation box over here. You have to do it, otherwise the start attempt button is not available. So only when you tick it, then you see it, it'll pop up, and then you can start the exam. All right, and then you'll see in the right sort of corner, you will see there is your little picture with the questions and whatnot. But please note something, hey, with multiple choice questions, you might not have the option to go back to a question. It might be what they call sequential, which means the question you see, you need to answer it, and once you move to the next question, you can't go back. That is the way the exam has been set up. So just note that for MCQs, guys. Make sure you know it. We've also got a video for you. All right, so the same steps I've just showed you now, we've got a video. There's Doc Marais, and she actually runs through the video with you as well. So if you prefer to go the video route, testing out your device while you're looking at it on the laptop or whatever it may be, this is also an option for you. So it really, we're giving you quite a few options. Right, then what's the next step? Here comes the fun part, guys. Once you now have gone through these steps, you're comfortable, now we're going to want you to practice it, to actually go and do it and see for yourself how does it look. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little chap. It's going to open another page, and you're going to need to just probably click on a self-enroll button. You'll see there's a little button that says self-enroll. You click on it, and then it'll come straight here. Scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the MCQ mock exam. So you're going to click on it. Right, so just like your exam. Now look what's happening already. It's already telling me my camera is there, it's back, it's active. Okay, and that's important, and I'm going to show you why in a second. So then we've got the exam rules. We talk about proctoring, we put the guide in so you guys can just make sure you've gone through it. Very importantly, the exam rules of what you do and what you're not allowed to do. And if you have a problem, for whatever reason, there is the email address for proctoring. So this is something you definitely must make sure you write down and make sure that you've got it. Okay, so there we go. And you can see I have done it a few times as well. I just want to show you something now. So I'm just going to click on it, and there you go. There you can see me. All right, there the camera is. Now you'll see the start button is not available. Why? Because I need to click on this little guy. You see there, tick, 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 and then I can start the attempt. And now there we go. Now give it a few seconds, and there you'll see my picture pops up. Now again, with your smartphone, it might not be there. There might be a little drop-down list where you only there be able to see your picture. So just take note of that as well. So, but yeah, get used to the environment. You'll see the questions, and there we go. Now, what I want to show you guys is, okay, I see a lot of people are already jumping on the page. Okay, super. Now, remember what I said to you, the camera, right? So if I click on this guy, you see it says the camera is being used. So if I unselect it, right, that means violation, got a problem. So when I click on this little symbol, I can switch it on and off like this. The only catch is I'm going to then, well, let me just reset it. I'm just going to page. Okay, so for the demo, for the practice, please go and do this. Give it a few seconds. Let me just refresh the page. But this is quite important that you are able to switch off your camera. There we go. You see, it pops up and it says allow or block. So now I'm going to say allow. So this little guy you must be able to do. So that's why I'm saying to you, go and practice it, play around with it, switch it off, switch it on, reset it. So at the end of the day, if by accident you accidentally block it, then you don't have to panic. You just say, all right, I remember what David said I must do. Click on the symbol, click on reset, and then allow it again. Go and practice with your device and your B device. Okay, there it says it can't see me now. Why? Because I might have moved away too far, or the lighting where I'm sitting is probably not very good. It looks a bit dark actually. So this is a common little error that you will see. Okay guys, so that's really how we tackle Moodle proctoring. And you can see it's actually pretty straightforward. Just get used to the camera, the settings, play around with it, be able to switch it on and off, but obviously for your exam, it must stay on. And I hope that will help you. Okay, so I'm going to then hand back to Dr. Chetty, and then the rest of the guys are going to show you the other tools that you need to use. But please remember that poll that we're running. Go check which modules, what invigilating tools you're using, so that we can also just get a better idea of what you guys are expecting on your side. Thanks, Dr. Chetty.
Thanks so much, David, for that. Much appreciated. I think I'm hoping that the students have actually grasped it. That's really the foundation of what they need to know in order to proceed with the proctoring space as well. Let me see. I'm going to bring in Richard. Am I bringing in you or first or Erica?
First, Erica.
Okay, let me bring Erica first. Perfect. Let me bring Erica first. Erica is one of our specialists in the Invigilator app. She's actually one of the people from the core team that's working with the Invigilator app and providing this service to UNISA. So we're really privileged to have Erica with us to answer any of your critical questions as well, but also show you firsthand how this works. Thank you so much, Erica. Let me hand over to you.
Thanks so much, Prof. Good morning, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Erica de Tooy. I'm from the Invigilator app, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about the Invigilator app in the next 10 minutes or so. So guys, for those of you who are writing take-home exams, you will be using the Invigilator app. And this is an invigilation tool that is downloaded on your smartphone. Please do not try and download this app on your PC. It must be downloaded on your smartphone. And if you look at the bottom bullet on this slide, the way that you're going to do it is you're going to go to your relevant app store, whether it is the Google Play, the Apple App Store, or the Huawei App Gallery. You're going to search for the Invigilator. And when you see that picture with the owl with the big glasses, you know you've got the correct app, and then you are going to download it. I just want to mention, for students who are using this app for the first time, you are going to go through a registration and a calibration process. So what is really important is that you perform the download, the registration, and the calibration well in advance of your first assessment, because you're going to need about 15 to 20 minutes to go through all of the compulsory first steps that need to be done in order for you to use the app successfully. So if you are going to wait for the day of your first assessment to download, guaranteed you are going to run out of time, and this is going to cause a lot of anxiety on your side. So over the weekend, set aside 15 to 20 minutes, sit down, go through the process, and make sure that you are ready to use the Invigilator app. Then I just want to say, for those of you who have used the app before in previous exams, of course, it's not necessary for you to go through the registration process. You are simply just going to log into your app. But what is quite important for those of you who have used the app before is just that you check that you are using the latest version of the app, because we have made a number of changes to the app. And the way that you can do that is you can attempt the demo test, which I'm going to speak about a little bit later. And when you attempt the demo test, if you're not on the right version, the app will automatically ask you to update, and then you can do the demo. So we just want to make sure that your phone is still compatible with the latest version of the app. And then just very quickly, these are the different checks that will be taking place while you are being invigilated by the app. So top left, when you register on the app, you're going to take a master selfie. So please make sure that that selfie is very clear and that we can see your facial features. So no hat, no hoodie, no sunglasses, normal glasses are okay, no mask. And then during the course of the assessment, the app will ask you to take selfies. We then use artificial intelligence to make sure that it is the correct student writing the test and not someone writing on your behalf. Then just below that, script upload. So this is very important. Now, once your invigilation time has run out, so you've reached the end of your assessment, you are going to be asked to upload your script to the Invigilator database. And this is a very simple process. The app is going to give you 10 minutes, and in that 10 minutes, you need to take a photo of each of your answer sheets. We then convert that into a PDF document, and that is then uploaded to our database. Guys, you can also share this PDF document outside of your app. So in other words, once the PDF document is created, you can then save it on your device, or you can email it to yourself, and you can use that to also upload to UNISA. But what is super important for you to understand is that the script upload to our database does not replace the script upload to UNISA. So you are going to do a double upload, once to UNISA and once to the Invigilator app. Let's just quickly talk about timelines as well, upload timelines, because sometimes students have questions about that. So the taking of the photos is time sensitive. In other words, you only have that 10 minutes once you have completed the invigilation. If you don't take the photos in that 10 minutes, there is no script to upload. So that 10 minutes is very important. Once you've taken the photos of your script, you then have 48 hours to upload all of the information that we collected. Now, if you have an internet connection at the end of your assessment, the upload is going to take place automatically. If you don't have an internet connection, you need to come back within 48 hours and make sure that you complete the upload. Then at the bottom, out of app time, this is very important as well. You need to make sure that the app is running in the foreground of your smartphone for the entire duration of the assessment. So you cannot close or minimize the app in order to do all sorts of other things. So this out of app time is tracked and monitored, and when it reaches a certain point, that is seen as a transgression. So ladies and gentlemen, the only time where you are allowed to minimize your app is if you are experiencing a technical issue with the app and you need to reach out to our help desk. And I'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Okay. Then in the middle column at the top, the app will also be performing voice recordings. So the purpose of this is to detect human speech and more specifically to detect any instances where you are discussing the content of the test with someone else. Now, I know some of you like to read your questions out loud, or maybe you are concerned that a family member comes into the room and asks you a question. Those will not be transgressions. So all of the voice recordings are listened to, and it's only when you're discussing the content of the test that that is seen as a transgression. Then just below that, customize instructions. Guys, it's really important for you to have some form of identification with you while you are writing. And this can be an ID card, a student card, a driver's license, doesn't really matter, because you will be asked to take a photo of some form of identification. And then at the bottom, GPS location mapping. So we also track your GPS location while you are writing your test. And the purpose of this test is to determine whether there are any students writing in very close proximity. Now, I want to reassure you here that a GPS failure in itself is not a transgression, because we do understand that often students write in student accommodation or in a library or in an office, and from that perspective, you will be in close proximity. However, we do prepare a report for your lecturer in which we indicate which students were really close to each other, and those scripts are then marked directly after each other, and the lecturer is on the lookout for any possible copying that might have taken place. Then top right-hand side. So guys, for those of you who have two devices, in other words, you've got a smartphone and you also have a laptop, you will be accessing your assessment on the UNISA site from your laptop, and you'll be using your smartphone exclusively for invigilation purposes. However, if you are a single device user, in other words, you only have a smartphone and nothing else, you of course need to be able to use your smartphone not just for invigilation purposes, but also to be able to access your assessment on UNISA's website. So we have a built-in browser. Now, once you've scanned the QR code, there is a button that says Access Browser, and you will be able to log into your profile and navigate yourself to your assessment while you are still being invigilated. So you're using your smartphone not just for invigilation purposes, but also to be able to access your assessment. And then there's just a few more things that I want to discuss with you. So on the ADOF site that has been referred to before, if you go to lesson number 3, all of the different proctoring tools are explained there. I just want to show you under the Invigilation or in the Invigilator app tab what resources are available for you. So you will see that there is a 7.5-minute video that you can watch that explains the student experience for you. So that is a nice video to watch. And then just below that, we talk about the Invigilator app student user guide, and there's a hyperlink there that you can click to access the student user guide. So what I would suggest you do is that when you've set aside 15 minutes to experience the app and download and register, is that you actually open up the student user guide and that you keep it close by for in case you run into any trouble. So if you get stuck on any of the different steps, you can then refer back to the student user guide, and there will be visual and obviously written guidance on each step. But what I want to highlight is on page 8 of this student user guide, there is a QR code. And if you scan that QR code on the app, that will take you through an 8-minute simulation of exactly what the app is going to be doing while it is invigilating you. Now, I really want to recommend that you do this 8-minute simulation, because that is going to simulate, as I've mentioned, exactly what the app is going to be doing, but you're not going to be in a test environment. So you can play around with the app in that 8 minutes. And once you've done the demo, you're going to understand exactly what the app is requiring of you before you actually start with your exams, which means that by the time that you start with your exams, you're going to feel completely comfortable and you're going to know exactly what to do if you struggle with the app. The other thing that I want to highlight to you is our WhatsApp help desk. So you have the number of the help desk there. So guys, if you do run into any trouble with the Invigilator, and it can be anything, I'm struggling to download, I'm struggling to register, I'm getting an error message, or even on the day if you have a problem, all you need to do is send a WhatsApp to that number. So you cannot call the number, but you can WhatsApp us a short screenshot, a video, a voice note of whatever it is that you're experiencing, and we have trained agents who will assist you. Now you're going to notice that if you reach out to the help desk, you're going to receive an automated response asking you a number of questions. So it's really important for you to just answer those questions for us. You're not busy talking to a bot. It's just a single automated response so that we understand exactly what it is that you need help with. And the moment that you've answered those questions, you are immediately transferred to a real person who will then assist you with any problems that you might be experiencing. So if you struggle with the app, please do not reach out to UNISA. Please reach out to our help desk. That is their job, to help you with any problems that you might be experiencing. And then also here at the bottom, you will see there is a mock exam that I highly want to recommend that you also do. Right, everyone, that's it from my side. From the Invigilator side, we just want to wish you the best of luck with your upcoming exams. We hope that it goes really well. Thank you all.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, Erica.
Erica. Thanks, Erica. Richard, before we go to you, I think Erica mentioned something quite important. Erica, before you jump off, maybe we can just quickly stress that point. And, you know, one of our challenges that students have is that they forget they need to upload it on both spaces. And I think you mentioned something quite important is it's critical for students to upload on the exam, on wherever they are writing the exams, in addition to the Invigilator app, because the Invigilator app doesn't count as an exam submission. Am I correct?
Yes, that is correct. The upload to the Invigilator is used for other purposes. So what I would suggest you do, and I hope that this is in line with the recommendations that you have, is that once you reach the end of your assessment, right? So your time has run out or you've stopped the invigilation, then you have 10 minutes to take your photos of your script, which is time sensitive. So I suggest that you take the photos of your script and that you then, after that, that you perform your upload to UNISA. Because the upload, the final upload, once you've taken the photos, that is not time sensitive. For that, you've got 48 hours. But the taking of the photos is time sensitive.
Thanks so much, Erica. We appreciate that, and also for sacrificing your Saturday to join us today. Let me go to Richard now. Richard, you continuing the conversation on the next tab for us. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, colleagues. So I'm just going to show you quickly the Invigilator mock exam. Please go and do the mock exam to test your setup. So if you go to lesson 3, Invigilator app, we've got a link at the bottom, and we've also got a link on lesson 7. So remember, when you log in, you have to be logged in to access this and to complete the mock exam. And I really suggest do this like a real scenario, like for instance, if you will be writing an actual examination. So on the day of your examination, you will access your exam where you can download the question paper, where you can access this 15 minutes before your exam starts. So we're going to take an exam, for instance, from 9 to 12 as example. So 9:15, I will be logged in. remember, if you logged in before 15 minutes and it still shows, that it's closed, just refresh the page and it will then show that it's open. So I will open up my question paper, download the question paper as well to make sure I've got the actual question paper. Just clicked on the wrong one here. Let me just go back. If I click here to download the actual question paper, I can open this up. So I've got this. Now I can open up the Invigilator app. So when you're going to open up the Invigilator app, it's going to start. You click on Start Invigilation. You've got an option to scan the QR code or enter the start code. So if you have a look at this page, this is the QR code, but you can also insert this code at the bottom to start your invigilation. So from here, we scan the QR code, and basically it's going to ask you if your information is correct. You just select yes. You can test the sound just to make sure that you can hear the pings. You click on Start. So generally, this will, basically all you do before 9 o'clock already, so that you know that you are ready. Now remember, at this point, you can then also put your phone into flight mode, so you don't get into interruptions. The app needs connectivity at the beginning and at the end when you do the uploading. So it will give you some pointers on scripts, and also just a reminder to not leave the app. So this is running on your phone. At this point, you can put your phone down, so next to you. It will go black. You don't need to worry about it. It will ping you when you need to get a message. If you're using your phone to access the exams as well, use the browser in the app. You'll see here at the top, Access Browser. And you can also view your script from there. So very importantly, you can use two devices. I saw a few questions of it, a laptop to download myExams and upload. And while you're using the app, but you can also use the app on its own as well. So while the app is running, it will give you a message, take a photo of your ID document or student card. You take a photo and it will save. Later, it will give you another one to say you need to take a selfie. You take the photo and you upload it. Then finally, so we're writing now from 9 to 12. Finally, we reach 12 o'clock. It gives you a message. Now you need to upload your script. You've got 10 minutes. So what you do is you just click on OK. You read the instructions to say that it must be in a welded area. And then you can scan it in. You'll see it actually draws like a blue border around it. So it makes it very easy to scan it in if you've handwritten it. Now, what happens if you typed it out? At this point, you then take pictures of your screen, everything that you have typed. So it doesn't matter if you've written it out or you typed it out, you take pictures of the content. So you scan all the pages. You'll see here, for instance, you just click on this button at the bottom to scan. You'll add the pages. So you'll see there, for instance, the number of pages. Once you are done, you click on the Done button here at the bottom right, and then you can start upload PDF. So basically to this point, this is what you have to do within that 10 minutes. It's come to this point where you select upload PDF. So what happens if you now have problems uploading? Don't worry about it. You've still got that 24-hour window, as long as you got to the step where you click on upload PDF. Now, in this case, to upload it successfully, you get your QR code. Now, during this time, you've been typing out your exam, for instance, in Microsoft Word. Now you go and save this as a PDF document. So you just select the file type PDF, and then you go back and you log in to the exam portal. So here where we downloaded our script, we can now scroll down. I'm just going to remove this one quickly. And we can scroll down, and now we can add a submission. So now, it's already, the PDF has been starting to upload on the Invigilator app. Now I can come back and I can do a submission. So firstly, you need to click that the submission is your own work. Also just have a look at how many files you can upload, what's the file size, and also the file types. So generally, PDF documents are accepted. The safest route to go. Alternatively, they also allow sometimes Microsoft Word documents. So from here, you just click on add a file. So if I go here, I've got a sample PDF. I'm going to upload that file. Just at this point, if you accidentally clicked, well, let me just remove this one quickly. If you click here on any of these other options, perhaps during when you rush, just remember you need to be on upload a file. I'm just going to choose that file again. Upload this file. So now I've ticked the box. It's a PDF document. Everything is good to go. I can save the changes. What I do recommend is scroll down, click on what you submitted. A lot of times at this point, this is where you might realize, wait, I've actually uploaded the wrong document. Maybe it was a tutorial letter or something that had the same module code name. Now, if you're still within that 30 minutes of uploading, you can edit the submission and upload an actual new document. So you just click on this one, delete it, and upload a new version. I also want to highlight here that once you've actually uploaded your PDF, you can actually share the PDF. So you'll see on the last screen, well done, the file were uploaded. So if you're using, your phone to have scanned it in, you've done a handwritten, remember you can then share this to your email, access it from there to upload to myExams. So very importantly, do this mock exam like you would do an exam, type it out so you've got the whole experience down. Now we've got this diagram as well. So remember, 15 minutes before your exams, you can access your question paper. This is when you scan the QR code, you basically get ready to start writing. Now say the start time is 9 o'clock, so that means it's 7:45, 8:45 that you log in. Just note here, 30 minutes after the start time. So that's, say this is 9 o'clock, so 9:30. This is when you can't activate the app anymore. This is considered late for examination. So during this period, you basically listen to the prompts and you take the pictures as required. Remember, it will be recording sound also in the background, but you just need to place the phone down. It doesn't need to face you or anything. Now, when it comes to the submission time, what I suggest is, say you've finished here at 10 o'clock, you're a very quick writer and you want to upload. First, upload on the exams portal, and then you do the final steps in the app and start the upload process in the app. But if you reach this submission time, the app will also tell you you must now upload. This is where you take the pictures of your script and you start the upload process. So remember, you've got 10 minutes for that. Then, so if this is basically 12 o'clock, we've got till 10 past 12 to take those pictures and start the upload. But we've also got till 12:30 to upload on myExams. So remember, you have to upload on both platforms. So basically, that's for the Invigilator app. Go download the app. First, make sure from the proctoring tools that you will be using it. You will not be able to activate it if you are not going to be using it. Remember to use the WhatsApp number for support on the Invigilator app. So keep that number safe. And then, yeah, go do the mock exam. You'll see it's a lot easier than what it looks like. Once you've practiced it, you can really focus on your study material. So I'm going to dive directly into the next app, and that's Iris Invigilation. Now, this one is a bit different from the Moodle Proctoring and then the Invigilator app. The Moodle Proctoring, you can already know, okay, that's for MCQ. Iris Invigilator app, that's for take-home exams. But now we've got this third one, Iris Invigilation. Now, interestingly, I was looking at the polls earlier. So thank you for all the responses. You can see the majority of you are going to be using the Invigilator app, quite a few also Moodle Proctoring. And then we've got Iris Proctoring. So why is that one so little? Now, the reason for that is because it's the College of Science, Engineering, Technology that uses this one currently. There is some CAS modules that will use it for the assignments during the year, but I've checked for this exam, it's still only the College of Science, Engineering, Technology that will be using it. So if you're doing computer science or any of those, you know you're going to be using Iris. Now, this one is used for MCQ and take-home. Remember, you will always just use one Invigilation app. And for College of Science Engineering, you will only be using Iris for both types. Now, this one is a Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge browser extension, so you need to use a laptop. There is a mobile version. The university only uses the desktop version, the one that works with your laptop or on a desktop PC. Now, your computer requires a microphone and a camera or webcam. So very importantly, if you've got a laptop, usually it's got a built-in camera already and a microphone. But if you're using a desktop, remember to have a webcam with a built-in microphone. So if we look at this app on the, let me just quickly exit this one. So if we go back to the our proctoring tools, this is the last one, Iris. Very importantly, what I suggest when you set this up, visit the official Iris website. So they've got a special dedicated page specifically for UNISA. So on the page, you just click on official Iris website. There is also additional guides to set this up. Now, what I like about this page, it's got a lot of support questions already. It's got a guides for specific versions, if you're using a Mac or Windows, and then also direct links to the extension, whether you're using Chrome or Microsoft Edge. So I'm going to show you Microsoft Edge. You just click on the link. We'll open up this Iris page and just make sure this icon, download the correct one. So if you click on the links that's available here, it will take you to the correct one. But if you go to the store and you search for Iris, you might get different versions. So just make sure that you do download the correct version. From here, you only need to select Get. It will add the extension to your browser. And you'll see here at the top, it pops up. Iris has been added to Microsoft Edge. So if I close that, I can also click on this extensions button and it will show me that Iris has now been installed. So once it's installed, basically you can come and do the mock exam. So if we scroll down, we've got a mock exam here as well. You'll notice there's one for file upload and then there's one for MCQ as well. So what I'll do is, because the file upload is so similar to the Invigilator app, I'll do the MCQ version for this one. So if I click on the MCQ version, Iris will pop up immediately. I'm just going to restore it because I added it just now. Now on this page, you need to agree to the terms and conditions. You'll notice as soon as I click that, it goes blue, so I can continue. So that means you don't need to consent for data usage, so long as you agree to the terms and conditions. Now, since I'm using 2 monitors, you'll notice I get this message over here. Now, that means you can only use 1 monitor. So if you're using a dual monitor setup like I'm doing over here, you do need to unplug one of your monitors. So I'm just quickly going to stop sharing and switch off my monitor. Okay, so if I go back, it still says this message. I can just close it. I can refresh this page, and now it will pop up again. So now you can see I can again click on agree, but now I can continue. So the first thing is to select your camera. So it already automatically detected the correct one. The same with the microphone. Let's use this one over here. So just select the microphone depending on if you have more than one. Now you need to insert your full name. You need to type in your student number. You need to capture a photo ID. So remember the same with the Invigilator app, it's any photo identification that you can use. So it can be your driver's license, ID. If you've got an access card, you can use that as well. So you just simply hold this up to the camera. Make sure that it captures all the information. Here we go. And then it will display here at the top and I can select next. Now you'll get this pop-up over here to indicate to share. Now the reason why this is displaying like this is because this is where most people get stuck. So it tells you must first click on the screen and then click share. But let's have a look. So if I go share screen, you'll notice the share button is grayed out. I can't click on it. So even though you can only use one screen, you first need to select a screen and then select share. And now it will show you that this screen has been selected. So now I go next, begin your assessment. So I'll click on start assessment. So this will give you also the time that's remaining, all of that information. So now I can focus on the quiz. So this is now basically say 9 o'clock. I've accessed it. I've started the iris. Everything is set up. So now I can attempt the quiz. Now you'll notice here, it does ask for a password. So the password is not given to you. You need to insert it from this app. So depending on how they set up the exams, they fixed this already. But if you get this error, especially with the mock exam, remember just to click on Start Attempt, and then it will ask you again for the password. So now we can say Insert Password from here. You see, it inserted the password, so now I can actually start the attempt. The rest is exactly like a normal quiz as you do it with the Moodle proctoring. Remember, you answer the questions sequentially, so you can't go back. So you answer each one before you go to the next one. You work yourself through all the questions until you get to this final page where you can select Submit All and Finish. Now, I just want to highlight here, remember, Iris only works on, as we mentioned, on a laptops or desktops. It does need internet connectivity the whole entire time. The same with multiple choice questionnaires as well, because the questions are loaded each time you click on next. Remember, the questions are also randomized, so you won't be getting the same questions as somebody else. They draw it from a big question bank so that everybody gets unique sets of questions. Now, once you get to the final page, you can select Submit All and Finish. But what happens if you, for instance, lost connectivity along the way? Remember, when you log back in, it will continue where you left off, and it will submit it automatically once the time is reached. So I'll click here, Submit All and Finish. And you'll notice Iris picked this up automatically, and it stopped everything, and it started the upload process. Now, just the difference between the MCQ and then the file upload. But with the file upload, you need to come back here and say Finish Assessment, and then it will start uploading all the information. So you wait until everything has been uploaded successfully. You get the green tick box to show that everything has been uploaded to the platform. So once you receive this, you can take a screenshot of this as evidence as well, but then you can safely close this browser window. So you see, you don't need to have it open the whole time. It can be in the background. It will run on itself. So you only focus on actually answering the either the take-home exam or the MCQ questions as they appear. So just the last one for here is, the proctoring tools. Remember, we've got Moodle proctoring. It's only used for MCQ exams. Invigilator app, only used for take-home exams. Iris is a bit different. This is only used by the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. And so this is the only proctoring tool that they use within the college, and they use it for both MCQ and take-home exams. So with that, thank you, Denzel. I'll hand back over to you.
Thanks so much, Richard, for that. So now that you know the proctoring tools, you've prepared for your examination, step 1, pre-preparation for examination. We now move to step 2, the actual writing of your examination. What do you do on the day that you're writing the examination? So I'm going to give David and Richard a bit of a break because I see they've just presented now. And I'm going to invite, I think it's Jessica that is presenting for us today, if I'm right, on the academic integrity. Leading straight from proctoring tools, academic integrity, the do's and don'ts on the day itself, and then we'll come back to Richard and David on how to access your exams from the myExam portal, different types of exam types. Thank you so much, Jessica. Let me hand over to you.
Thank you, Denzel. And you threw me for a loop there. I wasn't expecting to go ahead. Welcome, everyone, to my session on academic integrity. And we're bringing this in because of the whole concept around these proctoring tools, the invigilation, and everyone's getting a little bit panicky. But why is it in place? And that is to protect the integrity, not just of your exams, but also of your qualifications. So before we get started, I would like you to just complete this word cloud. Richard, if you could possibly paste it in the chat and tell us, what does academic integrity mean for you? So Richard, if you could just post that link for me in the chat, and students, you can just go in, answer with a keyword or two, and we'll see this word cloud as it emerges. So I'm just going to display that on the screen currently. We have 10 answers. We're seeing honesty in my schoolwork, submitting your own work, accountability is one as well. Let me also just get the link in case Richard is maybe struggling. And I'm pasting it for you in the chat. Students, you can click on that link in the chat and just go have a little bit of a think, and just one keyword. What does academic integrity mean for you? I'll give you a second. There we go. Richard has also posted it in the chat. Let's do a little bit of a refresh. So you'll get something like this. You'll answer one little word, and then you can actually go see the results as well. So we're seeing honesty, rules, trustworthiness, honesty coming up a lot. See as it builds on the screen. I love it when it happens like this. Moral code, that's a good one. Reliable, no plagiarism, uniqueness. I like that one as well. It means authentic to you. In the chat, we're also seeing honesty coming up. All right, wonderful. Honesty, uniqueness, no plagiarism. Well, let's go back to our values. Everything that was coming up in that word cloud can typically be linked to 6 main values that all universities subscribe to for academic integrity. It's very key to building a credible learning community and protecting the value of your qualifications. It starts with honesty, which is things like completing your assignments and exams using only authorized resources and submitting work that truly reflects your understanding. So you are already getting the key things there. That uniqueness, it's your understanding, not the understanding of some writer on the internet, but what is yours. And this builds trust with your lecturers and your peers, and it shows that you take your work seriously and you contribute fairly in things like group tasks. And we have respect. This is about engaging thoughtfully in discussions, in valuing the feedback that your lecturer and your peers give to you, and to treating others with dignity. You also demonstrate fairness when you properly cite your sources. That was that one coming up, plagiarism. Properly cite your sources and follow all the academic guidelines that you're provided with to ensure that everyone has that equal chance to succeed. Then we have taking responsibility. We saw that with the accountability coming up. It means staying informed about the policies and procedures and holding yourself and others accountable for upholding them. And lastly, there's also courage. And that is to stand up for integrity, even when it is difficult. Things like speaking out against dishonesty in group work when you're working with others, or when you encounter nefarious people who are trying to write your exams for you. That is the values of academic integrity. So then what is academic dishonesty? How could you possibly go against these values that you've all been bringing up to us in that word cloud? Well, we have plagiarism, that one came up, and that's when you present someone else's work or ideas or expressions as your own without acknowledging the original thought, the person who came up with that. You have cheating, that's using unauthorized materials or information or assistance in any academic exercise. Say you use the internet or some sort of AI while you are writing. Then we have collusion. That is where you collaborate without authorization with others. So if you work with a group to produce work when you're not supposed to, that is collusion. Then we have the 3 Fs: falsification, fabrication, and facilitation of dishonesty. Now, falsification and fabrication sound very, very similar, but the key difference is falsification is when you alter or invent or misrepresent data or information or citations in your work. This is about distorting the truth by changing or misrepresenting information that actually exists already. Whereas fabrication is where you create completely new false content where none existed before, where you invent from nothing a citation or information. There's no way to verify it. It is fabricated. We have facilitation of dishonesty. That's where you help another student to commit an act of academic dishonesty. There is also impersonation or third-party assistance. That's where someone assumes another student's identity. So that's why we just took you through how to make sure you have your profile photo set up, your camera engaged, so that there's not another person coming and writing this exam. We use it to protect against that impersonation. Then there is unethical usage or irresponsible usage of artificial intelligence software. Unless your lecturer has specifically said to or encouraged you, you should never use AI to generate or present work that is not your own. So please stay clear during your exams. And we have failing to use your proctoring or invigilation software. Whether it's the Moodle for Proctoring, Iris, or the Invigilation app, it's crucial to make sure you're using the right software, and you're here doing that now. Not using the software is a breach of academic integrity. Now, let's also talk about that uploading of your work. Some students take a risk, and during that small time that there is to save your work as a PDF and take the final scans, they carry on writing. But when the clock runs out on that, that's it. You will not be able to get any help. You will not have any extra time to upload. So you need to reserve that little upload time to doing the administrative stuff at the end of exams. And that way, if there's any issues, you will be able to be helped. So that is all the different types of ways that academic dishonesty could occur. So I'm going to ask you a question now. Here's a scenario for you. A student copies an entire paragraph from an online article without properly citing it, and then they submit it as their own work. Which one of the types of academic dishonesty would be happening here? You can put it in the chat. Is it impersonation? Is it fabrication? I see plagiarism coming up. Plagiarism. There we go. It sounds like you are all very, very clear on what is plagiarism. Indeed, this is an example, a clear example of plagiarism. You've taken someone else's ideas that they wrote, submitted it as your own, and expected it to get marks. That's not your thoughts. That's not your uniqueness that we saw in that word cloud coming up. What about this one? A student creates false data for their research project instead of using actual results from their experiment. Is that cheating? Is it collusion? What do you think that one is? It's a bit of a tougher one. I have fabrication coming up, falsification, plagiarism, cheating. Yes, I thought this one might actually create a little bit more unclarity. In this instance, it is fabrication. Why is it fabrication? The key word here is they've created brand new false information. They haven't tweaked their experiments results. They've actually created something completely new. And that makes it fabrication. They didn't falsify their results, they fabricated their results. This can happen a lot in the research space, for example, where perhaps you had a hypothesis that you wanted to prove was correct. Your biases came through and you wanted to make sure that this was now a very significant result. That's when we can see that risk of fabrication coming into the academic environment. So well done there. A lot of you did get fabrication. So in the instance that there is some form of academic dishonesty, what can happen? What happens at the university? Well, a number of things. Immediately, you could fail the module. You would fail it, receive a written warning on your academic record, and this can have an impact on your future career prospects because those records are accessible. You could be suspended or even expelled from the university. And that is very, very serious for you. You will not be able to continue with your studies, putting your life on hold. Alternatively, you might have cancellation of credits or even an entire degree in various serious offences. Never mind the fact that we also have things like a damaged reputation, not just the reputation for the university, but for you as a human. There is a tarnished academic record. Now, if you have students out there at a university who are regularly committing dishonest behaviour, that general brand reputation of your university can be tarnished and makes employers hesitant to hire anyone who comes from that university. So we need to protect that integrity. In very serious cases, you can get a criminal record. And that's often where you have those situations of syndicates, people who are trying to lure other students into committing dishonest behavior. And then lastly, but probably the most important, is your learning is reduced. If you are in a dishonest mindset where you're giving into the pressures of life and committing plagiarism or cheating, you are not having effective learning and skills development taking place. This can impact on your job performance, but if you're in a space like, if you're a doctor, you could impact on others in a harmful way. So there's quite a wide variety of consequences of academic dishonesty. So here's another scenario for you. You're halfway through your exam and you receive a message from a friend, a close friend, someone you've been working with the entire semester, asking for a little bit of help with one of the questions, the page number or what they must think about, and you're confident that you actually know the answer. What do you do? Do you ignore the message and carry on with your exam? Do you share the answer with your friend? Do you inform the lecturer about the message? And do you ask your friend to stop messaging you, but you don't report it? What is the best option here? I'm seeing ignore and carry on with your exam, ignore the message. Wonderful, there's ignoring it. That's coming through a lot. Wonderful. Very, very good. Ignoring it is probably the best course of action because it protects your integrity. Option B would violate academic integrity, as that is collusion and could result in disciplinary action. Option C, informing the professor, that's a very courageous choice and it does uphold academic honesty, but it might contravene your own values in the end, but it's still a courageous choice. And option D, if you just ask your friend to stop, it's still possibly collusion because now you are communicating in the exam. So yes, option A is probably the best option in this scenario, with option C being probably the most courageous. Okay, moving on. What happens if there is some sort of dishonesty suspected? What's the process? Well, just to give you in a nutshell, because hopefully you're all very, very committed to our integrity, what happens is the lecturer who suspects that some sort of dishonesty has happened will gather the evidence. This can come from those proctoring softwares. It can come from actually reading the script and maybe noticing a lot of scripts are similar. So they'll gather the evidence, and during this time, the marks for the exam will be put on hold, and you'll get that message on your exam record. So that's just going to let you know we're busy investigating. When the lecturer has everything that they need, then you'll be issued with a warning letter. And at this point, you can either accept the warning or you can contest it. If you do decide to contest it, a formal hearing is set up, and this will look at all the evidence and determine whether academic dishonesty has taken place. If you are found guilty, that's when those sanctions are put in place. Remember the things like failing the module, losing credits, being expelled for very serious situations. But remember, you're not alone. you can have a member from the SRC there to represent you, alternatively a fellow student. And if you're not satisfied with the outcome, you are allowed to appeal. All right, so that is the process in a nutshell. So another quick question. What strategies are you going to use to help avoid distractions, protect your academic integrity? Richard, if you can just post that in the chat. I'm also just going to come and post it in the chat myself. I'm multitasking here. There is the link in the chat. And if we go through to our responses, we are seeing things like flight mode, finding a quiet space, quiet time. Quiet is coming up a lot. Find a quiet space. That's definitely coming through quite a lot. Let's do a quick refresh and see if anyone else has answered. There we go. Avoid noise, do not copy. Trust, put the phone on silent. Good. Flight mode, quiet time, pre-exam prep. I like that. There's flight mode coming up a lot in the chat. That's wonderful. That's just to make sure you're not getting those calls, students, and maybe just being able to maintain your focus. Great stuff. I'm liking the interaction coming through. And also just, maybe giving a pre-prep for your family. I'm also a mom and my kids are making a noise in the background at the moment, that you have an exam and you do need this quiet space to be able to focus. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to then move on to the remainder. Basically, just to finish off, students, other strategies might be to study something you love, not to be pressured into a specific field because of your family, because when you love something, you're more likely to maintain integrity. To plan your time, not to register for too many modules, so that you're able to actually plan your time and make a study schedule. Practice your skills. Learning how to use the Invigilation software, that is skills practicing. Practicing typing, learning how to use the different forms of Word, PowerPoint, all of that on Microsoft Office. You will find that we've given courses for you on the Adobe site to help you with things like that. And asking for help. We have the counseling@unisa.ac.za email, and it's there to help you if you need any support when you're facing personal, financial, or academic challenges. Okay, and then lastly, if you ever witness academic dishonesty, it's important to act. That's where that value of courage comes in. So you are welcome to anonymously report any instances to our telephone number. It's completely free, 0800 07 5278, or you can email unisa@thehotline.co.za. I just want to thank all of you for being here today and helping to protect our academic integrity. You are an important piece of the puzzle. Thank you, and I'll hand back over to Richard and David.
Thank you, Jessica. So students, now that you know your proctoring tools, the exam into why integrity is so important, let's just have a quick look on how do you actually access your exams on the day that you're writing. So the best is to open myUnisa. There will be a button for myExams. It will open up the myExams portal from which you select the date on which you will be writing and then the module you'll be writing. This will open up your college's instance for the exam. So remember, each college has their own instance for exams. So if you perhaps have modules from two different colleges, remember you will perhaps log in and see only modules that's for that specific college. So the steps are very easy on myUnisa. Click on My Exams. You can select the date. So you'll notice also it's today's date and then 4 days in advance. So that means you can actually 4 days before your exam already come and test, make sure that your module is listed and that you can log in. So you click on the date. This will show a list of modules that you can select, and this will then open up your college's login screen where you log in with your MyLife email address. I'm just quickly going to show you. If we go to myUnisa, you'll notice here under important links is the My Exams link. Here's the dates. So today's date and then 4 days in advance. You'll notice if you click on it, it will list all the modules that's written on that specific day. You select the module that you'll be writing, and this will open up the login screen. So remember, you log in with your MyLife email address. So remember, two-factor authentication can come into play. So make sure that you test this out before your exam so that you can get that code, make sure that you've got access. So you'll see this page looks a lot like my modules, except at the top it will list the, or let's say myExams, and it will list the exams that you have access to. You'll also notice here, and this is very important, the profile picture does not display here. Remember, you only upload it on my modules. When you log into myExams, your profile picture will not display, and you won't even be able to edit your profile picture. So just take note of that. You do not need to worry about it as long as it's on my modules. So typically you'll access your exam at the bottom right. So remember, I can actually access 15 minutes beforehand, wait for it to count down and then just refresh and then until it opens up so I can access the examination. So for this one, uses Moodle Proctoring. As you saw, it popped up automatically. So just remember those steps. Go to my UNISA, click on the myExams button, select the date, select the module, and then you sign in with your MyLife email address. Now the steps is, again, remember to complete MyLife email, your password. If this is your own device, you can definitely stay signed in. I'll rather select no. Now, if you are struggling sometimes to get the PIN by SMS, you can also download the Microsoft Authenticator app. It's available on the Google Play Store and iOS Store. So this will give you a PIN that you can use instead of using the SMS. So this is just if you're struggling with two-factor authentication, this is an alternative, especially if you will be traveling outside of the country. Now remember, the SMSs won't necessarily come through to you if you're in a different country. So by setting up the Authenticator app one time, you will always be able to access the PIN as long as you've got internet connectivity. Now, as you saw, the drop-down, you just select the module and it will display the assessment that you will be doing, usually at the bottom right. So I'm just going to post this poll as well. This is just to make sure that you've basically grasped the steps. And remember, do this before your exams. So as soon as it's 4 days, go make sure that you can sign in, that you can access that. So I've posted a poll where you can actually, with this particular one, you will have to, how can I say, order it, in which you will be accessing it on the day. So let me just show you on this one. So with this activity, okay, you have already go to overview. But this one, you just drag and drop it into the correct order. And then we can see if you are able to answer all these questions. So I saw there's a few that still needs a bit of practice. There's 4 that got it exactly right. So remember, you will visit my UNISA, click on the myExams button, you'll select the date, you will select your module, and then you will sign in with your MyLife email address. So thank you for all of you that are participating in this poll. Hopefully this will really help you to remember those steps. So I'll hand over for this stage back to Denzel for where do you actually find support on the day of the exams?
Thanks so much, Richard, for that, and also to Jessica for the academic integrity side. So now that you know step 2, what to actually do on the day when you start writing the exams, we now move to step 3, finding support. And what type of support do we offer as an institution? When I started off, I said, remember, the UNISA team is behind you. So we want to let you know what type of support that we're offering. But first, we do have some exciting news. Next week, we are actually, David, if you are online, David, next week we are running a mobile learning masterclass, right? Maybe you want to quickly share a little bit about that masterclass in 2 minutes, David.
All right, thanks, Denzel and students. Yes, so next week, Thursday, from Wednesday, we are going to still send out the invite. So yes, we are going to be hosting a masterclass where we really delve into your cell phone, what you can do, how you can do it, how you can set it up, the different features like QR scanning, how do I do it, how do I be able to actually put flight mode on. So all these type of things, we're going to be demonstrating these to you to show you guys how to do it. And we've got Microsoft that will be coming to join us. We're also going to share all the useful things like the Office 365 app or Microsoft app that you can actually have on your phone that has built-in Word and scanning options and things like that. So it's a really, really interactive course that we'll be offering, but keep an eye on your phones because we'll send out an SMS and we're going to send out announcements via email so you guys will have access to the program. It's also going to be on the Adov course site. So again, just like with myExams, you will find the course will also be loaded there. So definitely, guys, there's a lot of mobile skills that we can actually show you guys so that you can arm yourselves for the exams. Thanks, Dr. Chetty.
Thanks so much, David, for that. So colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, watch that particular space and look out for that mobile masterclass. It really is an impressive course, so I really encourage you to join that next week as well. So Lucas, let me bring you in, Lucas. What type of support does the regions offer to our student, Lucas?
Thank you very much, Dr. Chetty. Colleagues, we from the regions, there are limited resources at the regions, and I would advise if you are planning to use the regional office to write your exam, please go there in advance to check what limitations they have. For example, in other areas, you'll find there are few areas to have a conducive space to write. In terms of computers, most of the regions, they don't have webcams, so you might find yourself in trouble if you write without a webcam. So my advice is the most available resource they can offer you is a space to write. But gadget, I think it's best to bring your own. You can take advantage of the Wi-Fi in the regions, but please, like I said, if you can, go visit, make arrangements, and don't just pop in, because sometimes you find a challenge of having not a space and even a gadget to use during your exam. So I'm just appealing to everyone, visit first before you use the regions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Lucas. So remember those wise words from Lucas. If you are thinking of using your region base as a potential writing space, please go and check before you actually pitch up on the exam day, because sometimes it might not just be a conducive space for you to write because of the infrastructure. So let's look now at the Student Support Contact Center and what support is offered by the Student Support Contact Center. It's my pleasure to bring in Ms. Jessie Sapolo and our colleague, Ms. Kwanele, to please guide us on this. What student support is offered by the Student Support Contact Center? Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Chetty. Good morning, colleagues and students. My name is Kwanele. I am from the UNISA Student Communication Center, which we normally refer it as the call center. I am delighted this morning to be here and share how you can communicate with the university during your academic journey. However, this morning, my main concern is to share with you how you can get in touch with us during your exam. We have about 4 entry points within the department, and the first one being the telephone entry, which is the most preferred by our students. You can call using 0800 00 1870. Please ensure that you choose option 4 for student exam related inquiries, because if you do not do that, your inquiry might be delayed. And remember, you are live, you need assistance because you are busy with your examination. And please note, this is a toll-free number, so you will not be charged. And also, students, we ensure that we have enough staff members that can assist us during this period. I understand that you've called the institution and you stayed on the line for quite some time, but during this period, because it is an important period within the institution, we ensure that we have enough staff to take care of your student inquiries that are related to examination. We have also an email platform or entry. We have about 5 email addresses. However, the most important one during this period, it is the exam inquiries at unisa.ac.za. We also have a very critical one as well, which is for MFA. Remember those passwords. Whenever you change your cell phone number or you lose your device, you need to communicate with the institution so that we can assist you. Because if you are not assisted, unfortunately, you will not be able to participate in your examination. We also have a social chat via the corporate page, which is a Facebook and Twitter. We have the web chat, which is live. You are also advised to use that option because we have warm bodies behind that option waiting for you to provide us with your inquiries so we are able to assist. We also have a chat bot that is available on the corporate page. It is available for you 24/7. So you can use those options as well for assistance. So this is where you can find the self-help, the chatbot, as well as the live chat. During this period, live chat is very important because we have people who are waiting for your inquiries. And then another important part when you communicate with the institution, you need to ensure that the following information is included on your inquiry: your student number on the subject line, your contact details, a full description of your challenge, as well as, if possible, please include the exact error, which will be your screen where you are experiencing the challenge, because we'll be able to actually assist you as soon as possible. So you need this information when you communicate with us, especially your contact details if you are communicating with us via the chat, because sometimes students are unable to provide the challenges. So we normally call them because this is a critical period for the institution. And please remember to always utilize your MyLife email account when you communicate with the institution, because that's the only email address that is recognized by the university. By now, you all have MyLife email account. And we also have an escalation path, which we normally use for students' inquiries that are complex, unable to be resolved within our space. We normally escalate it to our next reporting line. We have a supervisor based in Pretoria campus. We have 2 managers, one based in Florida and one based in the Pretoria campus. The information is also available on the website. And then we have our deputy director, which is also able to assist us when we come across queries that we are unable to resolve from our space. And just to mention again, the one more critical thing, please make sure that you notify the institution of any changes you make to your contact information so that we can update it on our end. This will help to prevent difficulties or delays in verifying your identity. If you, by any chance, change your device or your telephone contact details, you need to communicate with the institution so that we can actually update it on our end. Because if that is not done, you will not be able to access your MyLife as well as your myExam platform. I appreciate your time and attention. I wish you well with your examination. Thank you, Dr. Chetty. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Cornelia. And I think you've provided an excellent overview of the critical support that is being provided by the university to support our students. And I'm hoping that our students actually take advantage of this because the services are provided for you. Let's move on to the next session now. This is specifically student support for students with special needs. What does the university do for us? And at this time, I'm going to invite Pintius Nguna to the floor for us. Thank you, Pintius.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chetty. Good morning, everyone. I hope my slides is clear.
It's clear.
Thank you so much. Students, actually, I'll start my presentation with 3 questions. Then the first one is, did you disclose your disability? Do you know that anyone can acquire a disability anytime? Did you know that UNISA accommodates diversity? Don't worry for now. In this short presentation, you'll get answers. Then, ladies and gentlemen, UNISA established this section, which is called ACT-SWITCH, to accommodate the needs of students with disabilities. And I like to emphasize that students with disabilities are not inferior to those who does not have a disability. And then as part of the support for students with disabilities, then there's what we call special examination arrangements. And in order for you to receive the special examination arrangements, you should disclose your disability and apply for it. And then if your disability is permanent, you only apply once in the duration of your studies. But if your disability fluctuates, you apply yearly. At times, you find that there are students who require alternative assessments. It is therefore important that you apply for this, because it also assists in ensuring that you receive reasonable accommodation in terms of proctoring. Just to give an example, you may find that then the proctoring that's being used does not accommodate your needs. If you are deaf, you may find that you are using Invigilator app, and then when the prompts beeps, then you can't hear them. Then when you disclose, we are able to receive the required support. The question is, did you complete the form for special examination arrangement? Then there's a 2-page form, which is called special exam arrangement, which we are supposed to complete. Then unfortunately, then I won't be able to open them now. Then after completing the form, which we need to take to your medical doctor, whereby you will discuss the amount of time that you need, or if there's any other special arrangements that are applicable to you, then you return it back to the university. By now, if you didn't receive the confirmation letter to show that you already completed special examination arrangements, you need to urgently contact the university so that when you write exams, you don't have a problem. And I must say, as a team, we encourage you not to consider your disability. Ladies and gentlemen, while we respect your right to disclose or not to disclose your disability, remember that students who does not disclose their disabilities may not receive reasonable accommodation from the university, or even demand it. Because when you write exams, you may find yourself struggling. And the services for students with disabilities are provided to all students with disabilities, whether your disability is visible or invisible. Even if you have an invisible disability, please come forward so that we can assist you. Don't be shy. And for our students who acquire disabilities during their studies, please come forward so that we can reasonably accommodate you to ensure that you enjoy your studies with the university. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier I asked the question, if you are aware that anyone can acquire a disability. I decided to have this screenshot with pictures here. I'm sorry for those who cannot see the slide. On the far left, there's a young man in high school. Then if you go down, the young man is in a choir too, was a chorister. Then in the middle, the young man is wearing a suit, standing there, looking forward to a brighter future. Then if you move to the right, you can see the young man is already on a wheelchair, which means that the young man acquired a disability. That shows that it's a reality that any of you can acquire a disability. That's why it's important to listen to this kind of information, so that when you acquire a disability, you'll know on how exactly to receive the support. Then if you go down, you'll see the gentleman on his graduation gown. This shows that against all odds, after acquiring a disability, even though it was not easy, but the young man decided to further his studies. Then, ladies and gentlemen, this is my story. The gentleman on these pictures is me. Then it's real. Anyone can acquire a disability, any form of a disability, not only quadriplegia. Students, Seeing that now you are aware, now you know the benefits of disclosing your disability, especially for exam purposes, it remains your responsibility to request or use the services that are provided by the university. If you require any assistance from ACSUIT, you can send an email to acsuit@unisa.ac.za, or if it's related to your examination as a person with a disability, your extra time, your special assessment, please send an email to examdisability@unisa.ac.za. With these few words, I wish you all the best with your exams. Thank you, Dr. Chetty. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Pintius. And that is our young man, Pintius Nguna. Words of encouragement, as well as knowing that we can bounce back from all odds. Thank you so much, Pintius. Let me hand over to Richard. And while Richard, I'm getting ready, just for our students as well, please, if you are a student that's requiring special needs, please do make provision and engage the university before you write your examination. And Pintius did put those details that you can contact. So please, we do cater for students with special needs. So please use that channel as an opportunity to your advantage. Okay, Richard, competition time, Luwazi online assistant, competition winners. Let me hand over to you, Richard.
Thank you, Denzel. So yes, so this is the time you've been waiting for that we said at the beginning. It's time for the competition. So please complete the quiz to stand a chance to win one of those 3 prizes. And so we will be collecting the responses while Luwazi introduces herself and the online assistance that's provided by her.
I am extremely excited to introduce you to a brand new feature that has been developed to further support you in your academic journey, our online myExams assistant chat. Our online assistant chat is a virtual space where you can ask questions, seek guidance, and receive support for all your exam needs. Whether you're struggling with a specific topic, need help preparing for an exam, or simply looking for advice on how to manage your time effectively, our online assistant chat is here to assist you. Accessing and using the online assistant chat is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Simply visit the ADOVH site and click on the Hidden Exam Question button at the bottom right, and start typing your question. Me, as the AI-powered assistant, will then provide you with the information you need in real time. I strongly encourage all of you to take advantage of this fantastic resource. It is a convenient and effective way to get the support you need, whenever you need it. And don't worry, my online assistant chat is designed to be user-friendly and accessible to everyone, regardless of your level of technical expertise. So, what are you waiting for? Give it a try and see how my online assistant chat can help you achieve academic success. Remember, we are here to support you every step of the way, and together, we can overcome any challenges that come our way. Thank you and best of luck with your exams.
So students, to access Luwazi, it's very easy. On the exams portal, you can click on the button, have an exam question, where you can ask a question. We also have a dedicated page. We scroll to the bottom, chat with Luwazi. So remember, if it's very critical information or serious information, remember to always verify it still with the contact center. But for general questions, you can rely on Luwazi, and even Luwazi can even assist you with any questions regarding study plans or dealing with exam anxiety and stress as well. So while we're waiting for the results to come in, I'm just going to ask you as well, we'll post a link in the chat to the evaluation form. This really helps us to improve in the future any workshops that we do. So please have a look at it and complete the evaluation form. Let me just have a look quickly how many responses we've received so far for the competition. see if we do have enough responses yet to pull out 10 winners for the day. Okay, so yes, I think we've got our 3 winners for today already. Thank you guys for completing. I will update the slide and then David will let you know who is the 3 that won today's prizes. Thank you, David.
All right, you can move to the next slide, Richard, because you're sharing anyway. So I thought let's just use the same share. All right, they are the winners, guys. Nketwa, Nkona, well done. SB Ernest and Aisha Hendricks, you are our winners today, guys. Thank you for being part of this event, staying with us through the course. I know we're a little bit over time, but well done. You see, guys, if you stick with us, there's always the opportunity that you might snag a nice gift. So well done to the winners. So we will be sending you your gifts next week, but thank you for entering the competition. And the rest of you guys, please join us again next week because there will be, again, prizes available for you. So just to make studying a little bit more fun, hey? So there we go, guys. Well done to the winners. Back to you, Dr. Chetty.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, Richard. So as you can see, if you're on the group and you do complete, you can easily stand a chance to win some of the UNISA branded items. Students, we wish you all the best for the upcoming exams. We hope that this has been a fruitful, productive Saturday morning for you. We know we are 16 minutes over. We do try to keep to 2 hours maximum, but sometimes we do have a slightly over time. But we do hope that this 2 hours, 16 minutes was really productive for you and that you enjoyed it, but more than just enjoying it, that you gained the knowledge that you need. So from our side, we wish you all the best for the rest of the weekend and the upcoming examinations. Please remember, you can catch us next week if you do want to come back and follow more information on the training sessions. You're welcome to, but please remember all the information that you need is on the Adolf Learning Management System. You can access it anytime that you want. I also want to thank all our facilitators for today. Thank you for sacrificing the Saturday morning and joining us. I know you've all got family commitments as well, so we really appreciate you taking the time and joining us today. For the rest of you, please stay strong. Remember, you can actually do this. Just beat the stress, beat all the challenges that you might have, and push, because you're right at the last part of your run now for the year. We wish you all the best for the rest of the weekend as well. Take care and God bless. We will see each one of you next week, hopefully. But if we don't, well, we wish you, from our side of the Adolf team and the UNISA team, we wish you all the best for the upcoming examinations. And we know that with your hard work, you will succeed. So blessings and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thanks, colleagues. Thanks, students.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.